Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Rutledge and I'm here to read you a story. If you're watching from home or if you're a Northmont kindergartner or anyone who's watching, welcome. In my class for distance learning this week, we are focusing on butterfly life cycles and chicks and the life cycle of a chicken, and we're sending home lots of things in our learning packet this week, the week of March 20, today's Memorial Day, so tomorrow will be packet pickup, so the week of the 26th this week of May, sorry, not March, and so we are so we're going to be posting a lot of videos. I have monarch butterfly eggs on milkweed bushes at home, and I've been taking videos, and I have those to post this week, and lots of fun stuff. So anyway, one of my favorite stories when it comes to monarch butterflies and learning about the life cycle and the milkweed plant is this story appropriately titled Monarch and the Milkweed. And I really love the pictures in this book. The illustrations are really beautiful. And the milkweed in this story is kind of a purpley color, as we can see, a pinkish purpley color. I've never seen milkweed that color, but maybe on the East Coast their milkweed is a little different. Or in the Midwest, I'm not sure. The milkweed I have is typically yellow and orange flowers. So anyway, but it's a really great story and I'm glad to share it with you today. So we have Monarch and the Milkweed. This story is by Helen Frost and Leonid Gore. Doesn't say who wrote it or who illustrated it yet. Maybe it will on the other pages. We'll see. As you open up this book, on the inside of the cover, it shows kind of a map of the United States. And it shows areas where monarch butterflies live and do their migration patterns, and where they migrate up to the north during the summer months to be cool, and how they migrate to the south during winter months from certain places. And I'm seeing a lot of monarchs in my yard right now. And so we live in California over here. And it tells us here the brown lines is where they are in the summertime. And the black dots are where they are in the springtime. And then the arrows all show their northern migration. So yeah, kind of cool. And here we have thumbs up for the title page. Yeah, by Helen Frost, Monarch and the Milkweed by Helen Frost and Leonid Gore. So they both must have worked together on the story and the illustrations. In a patch of dirt behind an old red barn, milkweed stretches into warm spring air. Its roots reach deep and wide. Its stem points up to the sky. And there it is. Monarch spreads her wings and rides the wind past white and yellow daisies across a creek, heading up north. So they've been down south in places like Mexico and Texas and parts of California down in the south during the winter where it's warmer. And now they're heading back up north again for the spring and summer. Milkweed's new leaves push out, and then purple flowers soften round and fragrant. Monarch finds a dandelion and drinks its nectar and then flies on. She stops again and rests and drinks and then flies on again. Milkweed stretches taller. 2 by 2, its leaves spread wide, sheltering long-legged spiders and black and orange beetles. Monarch lights on the milkweed, drums her feet on the milkweed's flower, and tastes home. So yeah, butterflies don't have noses for smelling. They use their feet for smelling and tasting. That's how they know that they're on a milkweed flower, because they smell it and taste with their feet. Can you imagine tasting things with your feet? It's kind of weird, huh? Actually, monarchs can smell the milkweed plant. They can smell the flowers up to 5 miles away. So yeah, they'll smell it far away and then come and find it. Milkweed's flowers fall away and green pods push out. Inside these bumpy little fists, new seeds are forming. Monarch finds a mate and stays with him all afternoon, all night, and into the morning. Eggs inside her body grow heavy, and she searches for some milkweed. There she is. A breeze bends milkweed side to side, and Monarch chooses its best leaf. Swaying in the breeze with the milkweed, she curls her body underneath the leaf. So she curls it and glues one pale yellow egg into its soft underside. Yes, and in some of the videos that I made, we get to watch that happen. I actually got to see a butterfly do that. She flies from milkweed plant to milkweed plant, stopping on each to lay one shiny egg. It's really fun. Inside Monarch's egg, a caterpillar forms, and 4 days later pushes out, shorter than even your eyelash. They're about the size of one of your eyelashes. Almost invisible against the leaf's green or pale green. So there's what it looks like when it first comes out. So tiny, and I actually have some of those baby caterpillars on my milkweed plant at home. I'm going to be videotaping and posting for you. It eats the shell that held it, and then it moves across the leaf. It eats the leaf and it grows. Yeah, you can tell if there's been a caterpillar on a milkweed plant because there'll be a little hole right in the middle of the leaf. And that tells us that a caterpillar was there, probably eating. So they eat the shell, and then they usually will eat a little hole in the middle of the leaf. And when it grows too big to fit inside its skin, it crawls right out. New skin already forming beneath the old. Yellow, black, and white. The monarch caterpillar feeds on milkweed's bitter leaves and grows. So yeah, the leaves are actually bitter tasting, but they like them. Yeah, so it goes from teeny tiny to medium sized and big. Yeah, and they have to shed their skin because their skin doesn't grow with them like you and I. Our skin grows with us. As we get bigger, our skin grows too. Lucky for us. 4 times the caterpillar will shed its skin, and then one evening late in the summer, it weaves a sturdy pad under a milkweed leaf and hangs upside down and shapes its body like a letter J. Its feelers start to droop, and one last time it'll shed its skin again. It twists and turns and pulls its body up, transforming into a chrysalis. It hangs beneath the leaf, a shining jewel, jade green and speckled with gold specks. 12 days, the monarch chrysalis shines in noontime shadows. 12 nights, it waits under the moon and the stars. It grows darker, grayish in color, and then it turns clear and you can see black and orange as new monarch wings start to shine through. Can you see the detail? Yeah, so the chrysalis goes from being bright green, and as it gets closer to the time for the chrysalis to open up, it gets thinner and thinner. It turns opaque, like you can kind of see through it. And then early one morning, the chrysalis splits open, just like right here. And a new monarch steps out. Moist wings pressed against her body, she clings to the clear case of the chrysalis as warm air dries her wings. She opens her wings and closes them and opens them wide. A light breeze lifts her, and then suddenly she flies. Yeah. So they hang there for I don't know, usually a few hours. Depends on how warm it is outside. Butterflies don't like cool weather. When it gets too cold or wet or damp out, if it's been raining, then their wings will stay damp and they can't fly when it rains. That's why we don't see butterflies flying in the rain, right? And she opens and kind of moves her wings back and forth and pushes out. All of these wings have little tiny lines in them. And those are very similar to like the veins that you have in your body that pump blood through all from the tips of your head down to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. And they have that too. And so they pump fluid out, and that helps stretch out their wings and helps them to dry out. Yeah, you see all these lines? Yeah, those are like their veins, and that's what helps them to pump that fluid. The fluid is stored in their abdomen. When they first come out of the chrysalis, their body, their abdomen is really big and round and full. And as they push the fluid out from their abdomen into their wings and like pump that fluid out, then their body gets skinnier. I wish I could do that. Maybe I'd be skinnier too. Milkweed's leaves, now full of holes, turn yellow and then brown, and the edges begin to curl and they begin to fall because it's the end of summer, so it's getting dried out. Monarch flies from purple zinnia to black-eyed Susans, drinking nectar, getting ready. As the days turn cool, she turns south towards warmer air to begin her long journey. Milkweed's pod is full and its seeds are almost ready. In September's hot sun, the pod's strong walls turn dry and brown. Monarch flies and rides the wind, stopping only long enough to drink nectar from a field of purple flowers. Purple asters. That's the name of the flower. She follows the last flowers of summer as she flies on and on, almost 2,000 miles, all the way to Mexico. Wow, isn't that great? Yeah, how does she know how to get to Mexico? It's pretty amazing. I live by Mexico and I'm not even sure how to get there. Milkweed's pod now splits open, and those brown seeds lay close together in a soft white bed. And now the October winds catch a silky tendril and opens it and lifts the seed into the air and carries it out and away, all the way across a river to an old white house. A kitten reaches up its paw and bats the white fluff until it disappears. There's a little kitten in the window. All those seeds. That's a lot of seeds that come out of the pods, huh? And remember where that pod came from. That was the milkweed flower. Before it was a pod, it was all those purple flowers, and then the purple flowers dry up and become those little pods. Rain comes, snow comes, and rain comes again. The sun warms the earth, and earth warms the seed. And under the dirt, it opens. Roots reach down, a tip of green presses out and up toward the warmth and the light. Milkweed's first spring leaf unfurls. Far to the south, in Mexico, Monarch rides the wind toward it. So there's a new little milkweed plant. And there's the Monarch down in Mexico, spending her winters in Mexico, staying warm. And that's the end. At the end of this story, there's a note from the authors that goes into more detail about the migration of monarchs. Not all monarchs migrate, but certain ones do. And the amazing thing is that oftentimes the monarch butterfly will migrate back to where it first hatched out of that little tiny egg. It knows how to get back there. And it knows where to go. It automatically knows where to go and how to get to Mexico. I mean, can you imagine? Butterflies can't take a map with them, right? How do they know how to do these amazing things? Well, it's something called instinct. And I'll give you an example of what instinct is. So, as we're sitting here talking and you're watching me, you'll notice that once in a while, every few seconds, my eyes will blink. Now, I don't blink because I'm telling myself to blink. I'm just doing it. My body knows how to blink. And we blink because we don't want our eyes to get dried out, right? If I sit here and try not to blink, my eyes start to get dry. And then my eyes want to blink again. So something like that is instinct. We don't have to tell ourselves to do it. We don't have to think about it. We just do it without thinking about it. That's instinct. And that's what the butterflies in our story do. They have instinct that carries them on their migration patterns to Mexico and carries them to that original milkweed plant to go back and lay their eggs, right? And that's something called instinct. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to stop and ask for directions. They just know. So yeah, great story. Monarch and the Milkweed. I highly recommend it. Check it out. And for more stories on butterflies and the life cycle of the butterfly, I have some other videos posted right here on my YouTube channel, Super Busy Teacher on YouTube. And I'll be posting them on our kindergarten website, along with videos of my milkweed plant and the eggs and baby caterpillars that we're going to be watching get bigger and turn into chrysalises and hopefully become monarch butterflies as well. It's going to be fun.